Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Information Day of BIM Automation Arena 2023. 華山論BIM, the first competition and showcase on BIM and programming for BIM and real estate, which is organized by the Hong Kong Institute of Building Information Modeling and co-organized by the Cyberport. I'm Helen.
It is our honor to be your MC today. We are delighted to welcome you all to join us today at this wonderful venue sponsored by Reimagining. And also we have over 400 participants joining online from Hong Kong, mainland, and overseas. Before the start of today's event, may I invite Mr. Kelvin, Chairman of HKIBIM, to deliver the welcoming speech for us. Mr. Wong, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming today. I'm Kelvin Wong, the chairman of HKIBIM. Very nice to see you all. Today, I'm very happy to be here to meet all of you and also the online participants. We are very happy to have Miss Clary Hong and Doris Lee from Cyberport, Mr. Wong Kwan from LinkedIn, distinguished guests and speakers, panel members, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm very welcome to you, all of you, to come to today's BIM Automation Arena 2023 Information Day. So let's give a big round of applause for all of you. As you can see, I'm wearing the mask from HKIBIM. I'm very happy to be here. Okay, so before the event starts, may I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to have Cyberport to be our co-organizer and our diamond sponsor, China Mobile Hong Kong Limited, Actel, Microsoft, Henderson Construction, Wings and Associates to be our platinum sponsor. Thank you. And a very special thanks to LinkedIn for providing us an excellent venue. So we see today is very special. We are at the LinkedIn venue in Causeway Bay, a very spacious and very high-tech office, which is I love very much. Okay. In the past 14 years, HKIBIM are committed to establish and advancing the standards of building information modeling practice in the industry, and also to foster the general awareness and making the concerted efforts in the community towards the advancement by different kind of activities, such as HKIBIM Awards, which is held last year, October, professional CBD training and seminars, and the technical visits. We believe technology development continues to be a primary catalyst and the further trend of the world. As AEC, architectural, engineering, and construction industry is one of the most significant parts of the economy development. Our industry enormously potential that can be unlocked from the technology-driven innovation. Our vision has been assured by our construction practitioner and has been supported by the Hong Kong government. The requirement of the building information modeling then become part of the general condition of our government standards in all the construction contracts in the government works. Meanwhile, our government is further fostering BIM promotion and adoption in Hong Kong by extending the scope of mandatory BIM uses. There are also growing green financing products and sustainability aspects to support our society and industry to turn digital. BIM automation and intelligence in the topic of construction digitalization is going to be big impact in the coming 3 to 5 years for the construction technology development in our society. I'm dare to say it will become a new normal in your daily workflow. Therefore, for further facilitating the growth of major technology trends, such as the smart living, the emerging technology of AI, big data, and blockchain, and to foster the transformation of the Hong Kong into a true smart city, I'm now announcing that we, HKIBIM, are making its first attempt by organizing the first BIM Automation Arena. One. We call it 华山论BIM. 华山论BIM. Okay, I should open my mouth because it's very exciting now. With the theme of manifesting your breakthrough in the BIM automation and intelligence, we provide an exchange platform to gather BIM professionals and IT gurus to show their great talents in combining the BIM and programming and facilitate new developments in the construction industry. With the theme of BIM professionals of IT talents are now welcome to submit their digital breakthroughs, which can further improve construction projects management, design and construction quality, and effectiveness in the following criteria and aspects, including design and documentation, visualization and collaboration, interoperability, and the data exchange in the whole project lifecycle. So we welcome the AEC professional and the IT professional work together. The submission deadline will be on 17th of February 2023. So it's only 1 month left, so we hurry up. Finally, the finalists, the BIMers, and practitioners in the IT and AEC industry are welcome to the finalist presentation in the award presentation ceremony on 31st of March 2023, which is we call it BIM Friday, okay, at the Cyberport, for manifesting their breakthrough in the BIM automation and intelligence, and trigger the new sparkles and ideas for facilitating the industry development by giving the opportunity on the networking between the tax firm and the construction firm. Simon Ng, our head of event and marketing, will share more detail on the arena on today's information day. Meanwhile, we are honored to have a permanent speaker from the industry leading firm in IT and AEC sectors, including Microsoft, LinkedIn, China Mobile Hong Kong Company Limited, Autodesk, and Simon Kwan and Associates Limited, to share their insights and the case study in the latest technology and the application in the AEC industry. I believe all participants will find the information day valuable and gain insight for creating your BIM automation solution and joining the arena. Before closing, I would like to express my appreciation for the continued support from Cyberport, Microsoft, LinkedIn, and all of the speaker and supporting organizations. I would like also to thank the organizing committee and our board member for their dedicated effort to make this happen. I wish everyone a delightful and rewarding day today. Thank you very much.
We are delighted to have Cyberport to be our event's co-organizer. Our finalist presentation and award presentation ceremony will be held on Cyberport on the 31st of March 2023, which is Friday. All BIMers, IT, and construction professionals are welcome to join this ground networking event. Remember, mark your calendar now for this BIM Friday on 31st of March.
For further delay, may I invite Ms. Kwok, Senior Manager of Ecosystem Development Team of Hong Kong Cyberport to discuss the welcome message. Welcome Ms. Kwok.
Okay, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Kelvin, Hong Kong IBIM invitation, and also it's our honor. Cyberport can be the co-organizer for this competition and showcase for this program. I think it is really honorable to attend today because I can be a witness and with my colleagues, Doris, we have witness to see the opening, the info session for the first competition and show day on BIM. Cyberport as always have providing absolute support to the development on prop tech, construction tech. We are working closely with different partners in this cluster, as well as support with the use of technology innovation in our projects. I think we just casual talk about our Cyberport Phase 5 expansion project. Actually, we are also also is a significant demonstration how we support on the ESG, how to apply our construction technologies, things like the 4D BIMs in our project, so that I think we are all of us, including staff, colleagues, and also everyone is looking for our Cyberport 5 to be a more faster, safer, and also less weight on our cost effectiveness on the construction project. Meanwhile, Cyberport has just started collaborations with Hong Kong Housing Society since last October to set up a co-working space in Northern projects, aiming to promote the development the smart city through different innovation application solutions for property management industry. As well as I just talked to George, and also we have just started collaborations with CIC to promote the digital transformation for the construction industry. As well as we want to, through the program, let our community members to learn more about the industry domain, how to, as Kelvin said, how to use your professionals, include make some synergy with our experts to make some things different for Hong Kong, the construction industry. So that by offering, we have all the entrepreneurs programs and we organize all the events because Cyberport would like to inspire more participate startup to develop and implement innovation technology in living, not only for the business. Also, we always say that because storage is under smart living cluster, so that we also say 衣食住行腦中清. We want to all the technology is deployed in our living that enable individuals in different cluster of the community and enterprise to enjoy the results of innovation and technology. I strongly believe and support that the awareness of everyone about the importance of applying technology in the construction industry will be raised through this competition and also this program, not only raising the productivities, the profitability, and also building a sustainability future for Hong Kong, and also we can bring our technology to the overseas. Okay, thank you very much.
It's such an annual day that people cannot be missed. May I also invite Mr. Kelvin, Chairman of HKIBIM and Head of Events and Marketing of HKIBIM to put photo together.
May I have Ms. Poon here together with our chairman and also Kelvin. The Information Day can be successfully held without our speaker. May I also invite all our speakers today to have a group photo together. We have renowned speakers from China Mobile Hong Kong Company Limited, Microsoft Hong Kong, LinkedIn Hong Kong, Cyberport and Associate Limited, and Autodesk. Thank you all for your general support.
Our event is also supported by Hong Kong Government Department, IT and Solution Professional Institutions from Hong Kong, India, China, and overseas. Some of them also attend today. They are also invite all of you into our committee member to have a proposal together as well.
Committee members of HKIBIM, sponsors, speakers, and also all of us to have a group photo together to celebrate this successful day of the Information Day of
OK， 好啦，預備下，一、二，好啦，再嚟啊，我望住好，好，預備 one two， 嗰個係咪要拉低？好，預備一、二 ，thank you。
Thank you all. This is
好嘅，啊，攞張相機。
Thank you all. Please be seated. Today's event is successfully held with support from our sponsors, including our diamond sponsor, China Mobile Hong Kong Limited, our platinum sponsor in alphabetical order, including ATEL Engineering Group, Edison Construction Company Limited, and Microsoft Hong Kong. If you are willing to support us as well, please feel free to contact our event secretary. Today's presentation will now begin. May I invite Engineer Owen, our head of Cheung of HKIBIM, to have a brief introduction for today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today's agenda will be divided into two sessions. The first part is regarding competition and application details. Our head of events and marketing, Mr. Simon Ng, will give detailed information about the submission details, examples, and frequently asked questions. If you have any questions about the arena, please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A box at Zoom. We will answer your questions before the end of today's event. Next, we are glad to invite prominent speakers from industry-leading companies in IT and construction to share the latest IT trends and applications to AEC industry and BIM automation examples. Participants are welcome to raise their questions by clicking the Q&A button in Zoom. Please mention at speaker name ahead of your question. We will choose among the questions repeat them aloud for the audience, and ask the speakers to respond with short answers in the Q&A session. Please remember to scan the QR code which will be shown on the screen at the end of the event for attendance and issuing of CBD certificate. Thank you.
Without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Simon to introduce the first and ever competition and showcase on BIM programming for BIM and periodic Hong Kong Station, BIM Automation Arena to all of you. Let's welcome Simon, please.
Okay, thank you, Helen. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to explain the BIM Automation Arena in more detail. So because it's quite informative, so I better stand in front of the computer to show you. Okay, so first of all, the objective of this BIM Automation Arena is to recognize those outstanding and fantastic BIM automation tools that is helping our BIM industry or even our AEC industry. So with our slogan is manifest your breakthrough in BIM automation and intelligence. So we are looking for solutions that is fantastic with full of your intelligence that can help the BIM process. And as we say, we are looking for breakthrough. We're looking for any breakthrough on your BIM automation tools, or even bring some breakthrough to the industry. So this is our objective. Okay, so today I'm going to talk more about the scope and also the categories, and then assessment criteria, and then what awards will be, and then application process, those kind of things. Okay. So first of all, as I mentioned, so we are looking for tools that is helping the BIM process in the AEC industry, the architectural, engineering, and construction industry. So that means we are looking for some tools that can help in the design documentation, visualization and collaboration, and interoperability and data exchange. So that means I put some example for you. So for example, you have a script that can help to generate thousands of remarks. You have a plugin that can help to automatically generate the construction drawings, or even you have a platform that can help to that can load different tons of models and even in different software from different file formats. That's all what we are looking for. But then you may say, hey Simon, how come your examples so old-fashioned? We already have this. Yes, because I'm old. Yeah, I'm looking for some new innovation, some new think out of the box. Anything that is think out of the box, but that can help in the BIM process and AEC industry are all welcome. Okay, so any new and fantastic things are welcome. So about the categories, so for the submissions, we have three categories: visual programming. The second one is the API or plugin. The third one is the software application, and I'm going to explain in more detail. So as you see in our poster, that the Kung Fu guy that is using a visual programming and API and software application as the weapons. To fight for the AEC industry. Okay? And also for the applicants, we have also divided into three categories. So first is an individual or teams, a group of individuals. Secondly is the second and the third are the cooperation organization, which is divided in Hong Kong based or overseas or mainland China. Okay. So as you say, there should be 9 combinations of these categories. So quite a lot. So these are some examples. Visual programming. So for example, if you use the very popular one, the Dynamos or the Grasshoppers, or some other visual programming tools. Second one is the application program interface, the API, which is some programming developed based on some popular BIM softwares, okay, to achieve some objectives. The third one is the software application. So it can be either standalone software applications or web-based SaaS software applications. So these three submission categories. And then talking about the applicants, so there are also three categories. So first of all the first one is the individual. So individual doesn't mean that it may not just a single person. It can be also a teams of a number of applicants. Okay, so it is either an individual or a group. So no matter it's local or overseas. Okay. So the solution must be related to AEC, architectural engineering, construction industry, and each applicant or each team may submit more than one application. So actually, we are looking for each solution as one entry. So for example, I create three programs, so I can make 3 entries. We all welcome. Okay. So we also allow the applicants. They may either to show the name or not to disclose his identity. Okay. So for example, I want to be invisible. I don't want my name to be shown by the others. So we may use an analysis name or nicknames or group names. Yeah. So we may introduce later. We will set up a metaverse platform. So in our finalists, so your applicant, you can show yourself in the metaverse platform, but without showing your real names. But of course, you need to communicate with us about your true identity before. But we won't show your true name to the public. You can use anonymous. Okay. So next one is cooperation. Okay, so this is about cooperation. So the company have to be based in Hong Kong. That means the company registration should be in Hong Kong, and also the key members of the project team should be based in Hong Kong. Okay, and also the solution must be done by the firm. Okay. At least the concept design or the logic should be done by Hong Kong. Okay, and again, this is the same. The solution must be related to AEC industry, and each firm may submit more than one applications. Okay, and finally, finally is the cooperation from overseas or mainland China. So same, but all the same except so the company is based on outside Hong Kong. Okay. So let's talk about the assessment criteria. So as I said, we are looking for BIM automation tools that is a breakthrough. So the criteria means the challenge of achieving the breakthrough. So for example, so how your tools can improve the BIM process. For example, how it can reduce the manpower, how it can accelerate the process, how much time saving or how much cost saving, and how the complexity of the project it can overcome. And so these are about these criteria, about the breakthrough, how breakthrough it is. The second one is the user experience, because the user interface or user experience design. Okay. The third one is about the enhancement in productivities. Okay, so we in the submission form we will have a KPI Excel that to let you to submit to record how much productivity, how much saving in manpower, or how much saving in time, or how much saving in cost it will be. Okay, and the next one is innovation, and then scalability. Scalability means whether it can only apply to one model or multiple, a lot of thousands of BIM models, or whether it can only apply to one project or apply to a lot of projects. And then next one, enhancement in quality, how to improve the no matter quality of models, of BIM models, or no matter qualities in the construction, or no matter quality in the design. And the next one is about the achievement. So for example, whether it received any awards, whether it received any kinds and compliments. And finally, we will the final last 5% of marks will be given to the teams or individuals who are Hong Kong IBIM members. So if you in case if you are not yet the Hong Kong IBIM members, so please join now. Yeah. If you join together with your members application, we welcome in order to get this 5%. So the awards. So for each category, we will at least have 4 awards. So BIM Masters, BIM Elite, BIM Rising Stars, and BIM Inventors. Okay. And we will have some additional award, which is the Best Innovation Award, Best User Experience Award, and also the Most Popular Award. So and also for the awards, so we keep it secret on what exactly the prizes will be. Yeah. But I can assure you that we will be very exciting, something exciting award, some exciting prizes. And also we will have a wide range of media publicity, and we will also set up a showcase. We will set up a Hall of Fame in our social media and also our website, so that your BIM automation and really showcase to the public. So application fee, individual free of charge, corporate submission is 2,000 Hong Kong dollars. So how to apply? So please visit our website, or you may go to directly go to this link for online application form. So we encourage you to register first. So register first, and then the submission deadline is February 17th this year. Okay, being Friday. Okay, so we highly encourage you to register first. You may go to this link, or go to this QR code. Okay. After you register, you will receive an acknowledgement with your application number and a submission portal link. Okay. So remember, important thing, I repeat 3 times. So the deadline is February 17th, 5 p.m. Hong Kong time. Okay. Okay. So talking about the submission material. So you are required to submit 4 materials. So first is the executive summary to describe what it is, and also you need to submit a video clip to demonstrate. So basically we are looking for some product that is some real product, not just a concept. So we are expecting a demonstration on how your solution works. So it may be a workflow between a number of plugins. So how to achieve some goal with the use of a few tools. And the number 3 is the complete quantitative and qualitative KPI form. So as I mentioned, so how it can reduce your cost, how it can reduce your manpower, those kind of things. Okay. And finally, of course, the application fee. So these are the submission materials. So again, the timeline. So submission deadline is in about 1 month's time, February 17th, 5 p.m. Hong Kong time. Okay, and then our judging panel will start to screen, do the initial screening in March, and we will have the finalist presentation on 31st of March, 2023. The venue is in Cyberport. So at that time, we will have the finalists. So talk a little bit about the finalist presentation. So we will expect the finalists to bring your tools to do a real-time live demonstration to show to all the audience. And also we will have some ad hoc tasks for you to showcase to see how powerful your tools is. Okay, and then, so don't miss it. It will be a very, very exciting event. Okay, and also we will have some like this hybrid mode. So we will have the finalists will be in live and also in the metaverse platform at the same time. Okay, so this is the metaverse that just show you a little bit. So and then at that time you can play around in the metaverse. Okay. So like this. Okay. So next I will have some FAQ here. First, of course, when you have even further questions, you can say you can drop your message in your chat box, and then we will have a FAQ question and Q&A session later. But before this info day, we already received some inquiries, so it's good to share with you here. So first of all, the number one question, actually question number 1 and 2 can combine together. So we have a tool that is related to IoT and computer vision, and also the second one is a web platform for FM facility management, about blockchain, and about the sensor, IoT, those kind of things. Are they eligible? So the answer is yes. As I said, the number one criteria is we are looking for something tools for the AEC industry. So definitely these tools are related and helping the AEC industry. Okay. And then the second one is are they related to the BIM process? We can say we will say I will say yes. Yeah, because if you use the broad definition of BIM, it's about the management of building information. Okay, so the IoT and sensors are actually managing the building information. And also we were looking for the potential for integration with a BIM model. Okay, so these are welcome. Okay, number 3. So what if we have a framework that is a set of ideas that using a very current available technology, for example, blockchain, CDE, deep learning, those kind of things, to achieve some BIM process, but it has not yet been implemented. So are they eligible? So to me, the question is no, because we are looking for application that is already developed. Okay, so if you just give us a concept, I would better say you better finish your great work first. Yeah, so please, we are looking for some a video with the true demo of the tools. Okay, number 4. What is the difference between individual and corporation submission? Okay, basically for individual, we're looking for individual's name or team's name. So nothing related to the corporation, your company name. And corporation is something like company name, so which is another way to promote your company. Okay. So another thing is about whether your tools is already commercially commercially in your market, or you already selling. So if your tools is already in sale or making commercial use, so you will need to be in the corporation category. Okay. Otherwise, if you just have some tools just for your daily work, or you have developed some work for your hobbies, for your interests, yeah. So you may either you may join the individual application. Okay. And last question is if a company is China, can I say cross-trade together? Yeah. So yes. We encourage you to upload the submission material first. Yeah, and upload your application first, and then send your online send the submission to the online system before our deadline, which is February 17th. Okay, so that's the end of my briefing on the. So if you have any questions, so please drop down in the chat box, and we can answer you later in the Q&A session. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Simon. If you have any questions about the arena, please feel free to drop your inquiries on the Q&A box as soon. Next, we are honored to have 5 guest speakers to give a TED Talk to us. To begin with, we are delighted to have Mr. Dallas Lam, Cloud Solution Architect at Microsoft Hong Kong Limited, one of the leading cloud vendors in the world. Mr. Lam has been working as a cloud professional for Microsoft since 2011, starting from the role of partner technology advisor to drive cloud business with the Microsoft partner ecosystem in Hong Kong. As cloud solution architect currently, he focuses in Azure hybrid infrastructure solutions with the key initiatives like data center migration, cloud adoption, and app modernization. Mr. Lam is going to give us a TED Talk with the topic of Reimaging construction solution powered by Microsoft Azure. Let's welcome Mr. Lam, please.
Hi everyone, can you hear me clearly? Yeah, great, okay. So let's get started. So my name is Douglas, Cloud Solution Architect from Microsoft Hong Kong, focusing Azure Cloud Computing, okay. Welcome today. Yeah. So today I'm going to look into the current situation about how to run your BIM application at this moment. And we will see how Azure Cloud Platform can help to enhance your situation, okay? So I believe I have 15 minutes, right? Yeah. So let's get started. Okay. So I believe you may have some existing problems like these examples. First, you may have to host your application in your own data center. That means at your on-premises site. For example, your data center, your office server room, and something like that. That means you have to maintain your hardware, devices, network switch, and more. Okay. So it incurs the hardware requirement and the maintenance efforts. Okay, from day to day. And you may also need some expensive laptop or desktop PC for your end users to run the BIM model, I believe. So, such as you need some expensive GPU resources, for sure, I believe. So, and also nowadays, I believe you may need to facilitate the remote working scenario for your end users too. For example, under COVID-19 situation, they may have to work from home or even from other countries, right? Okay. So this is another thing that you may have to resolve from IT perspective. And one more possibly problem is storage. I believe your BIM apps may have to generate some big files from day to day. And you may need to maintain these files with your hard disk, your storage backup, and something like that. Okay. So as we all know, that hard disk may fail sometimes. In case your hard disk is failed or your PC is corrupted, something like that, you may need a long time to prepare a new one for your end users, and then they can continue their work, right? Okay. So another thing we see is version control may be important for some businesses, such as your industry. Like your BIM app, you may have to maintain multiple versions of the Word files every day, right? So it incurs a need of a big hard disk or even multiple big hard disks. As I mentioned, hard disks may fail as always. Okay. So these are some possible problems that we see in the industry and even the other industry. Okay. And let's go to see how our Azure public cloud platform can help to enhance the situation. Okay. Some examples, like simply speaking, that I just host it in Azure platform with a virtual machine. At the same time, you also enable the mobility and the remote working scenario for every end users, including normal end user or even the power users to run the BIM application. Okay. Because we have some virtual desktop solution on our cloud platform already. And so as you can imagine, on the cloud platform, your end user can access these resources from anywhere or even anytime, okay, even in different time zones. Okay. And also they can just do this thing with some less powerful devices, like some cheaper desktop or laptop. Even nowadays we support the mobile devices like iPad. Okay, so you can think out of the box to have more possibility of the cloud platform to do your business. And as I just mentioned, we have some storage options. I believe you need some big disk to store your Word files. So we have lots of storage options available at the moment, and I will talk about it in more detail later. Okay. And eventually, most important is we need to connect all your global users. As I mentioned, some people may work from home, may be working from the other countries, locations, and so on. So we connect the global users to our data center with our Microsoft Global Backbone Network. and I will elaborate more later on. Alright, just let's jump into each step one by one in more detail. Alright, so as I just mentioned, Azure Cloud Platform is a public cloud platform. That means you just need to manage the blue items here. Okay? That means, for example, if you host your BIM app in Azure platform here, okay, you just have to manage the blue items, including the application layer. That means your BIM apps and your data. That means your Word files or even your database, other systems, something like that. And so for the rest of the items, like here, the gray area, okay, the visualization platform, your hardware, the servers, and even the network equipment, we manage all of it for you. So you don't need to waste the time on the hardware, okay, anymore. So we try to make your work easier, especially from the IT man perspective. Okay? We try to reduce your workload and burden. So what you have to do is just install and prepare your BIM app inside the blue area. Okay? Just install your app in our virtual machines powered by our GPU. Okay? Alright, so as we know that you should need some GPU resources to run your model, your BIM apps, okay? So we have our GPU here available already, okay? So some famous brands like NVIDIA, AMD are all in our lineup already, and you can click to the blue lens here later on. I will share the deck, so no worries. You can click into the blue lens data to see the full specification of our models of GPU resources. So, and one more point is you can see it supports different scenarios, including your BIM, the thing that you care a lot, and CAD, data science, even AI machine learning, and even some fintech customer is using our GPU resources already in this year. Okay? So this is about the GPU resources, so very important, super important. Okay? When you run your application, your BIM app on our cloud, see this diagram is our mechanism of redundancy. We should host your apps in three physical locations within the same region. For example, in Hong Kong here, we have a region called East Asia region of Asia. So your app is running at three physical locations at the same time. That means we try to ensure that your app is always available. Okay. So 99.99% SLA means the service level agreement we guaranteed with this setup, with this configuration. Okay. For example, in Hong Kong we have 3 availability zones. So I would say this is a way to minimize the overall downtime of your application from our cloud vendor perspective. Okay, we try the best to ensure you can always do your business well. Okay. Alright, so next thing is about mobility and the remote working. Azure Virtual Desktop, one of our key features I want to introduce today. So it unlocks the hybrid work scenario for your scenario. Okay. Like your BIM application, even the normal user can use the cloud workstation on that, okay, to access anywhere. And what the user have to do is like this, okay. At the left-hand side, that is the desktop or laptop version. That means our remote desktop app is available on almost every common platform at the moment, okay. So the user just have to install this app and pick which cloud workstation they want to use, they want to consume. And after that, after a few seconds, they will see the virtual desktop like this. This is the Windows 10, and we also support Windows 11 and so on. Okay, so they can use the BIM app inside here. Just few mouse clicks. And at the back end, the situation is like this. Okay, see, you see there is a diagram here. At the left hand side, our clients mean the app I just showed. The remote desktop app for the client side. End user is at the left hand side on multiple devices, and then they can just click the button to connect with our backbone network, okay, at the same time. And we have firewalls, we have multiple firewalls to ensure that your connection is safe enough as always, okay. We try to reduce your security risk, okay. And at the right hand side, that is the cloud platform that we host your BIM app here, okay. So the cloud workstation is at the right hand side, so we ensure that your end user can access from anywhere from the world, okay, as always. So talking about access anywhere, this is the region map of Azure. So very important. Okay. Actually, you can use almost all regions in this map, just except the left-hand side. You see something like a U.S. government region that cannot be used. That is reserved for U.S. government. So except that region, you can use almost all the regions in the map. Okay. For example, like this. Let me open the user form. Okay, use the laser pointer, easier to indicate. So, for example, East Asia region at the right hand side, that is Hong Kong here. Okay, as I mentioned, we have 3 zones inside Hong Kong. So, if you host your BIM app here, you will have 3 copies of your app to ensure availability. Okay, so you can deploy to almost all regions, as I just mentioned. East Asia, Hong Kong here, and nearby we have Southeast Asia. That is Singapore. Okay, so we usually use Singapore as a pair region with Hong Kong together to do the redundancy in case we need some cross region disaster recovery site, just in case it depends. And also we have Japan, we have Taiwan coming very soon, Taiwan region. Okay, so all regions can be used, just except US government region. And another thing is talking about the regions. We also have the global network. Okay, Microsoft global network to connect all the data centers together with all your global end users in the world anywhere. Okay, so this is not internet. This is our private network owned by Microsoft. So all your data will go through this network, but not internet. Okay, to reach your end user between the server and your end user. Okay. And again, we try to reduce your security risk from the connection perspective. Okay. And another point I want to highlight is even your user is located at the location that without our data center, they can still connect to the edge site here. Okay, the light blue icon here. We have more edge sites than data center. That is very normal. Every cloud vendor is like this. More edge sites than data center. Okay, because of the cost concern. Okay. In case the user is located not near to the data center, they can still connect to the edge site, just like this one, okay? And then after that, the data will go through the backbone to reach out to the user again, okay? So we try to optimize the performance of network as well. Alright, so we're just talking about the network perspective. Let's go into the storage options. As I mentioned, you may need some practice to put your Word files or backup. So this is a lineup just for information. No worries, the details is just for information. So these are the range bucket numbers. So from standard hard disk, standard SSD, and to premium SSD for higher performance, ultra disk for super high performance and low latency. And also, we even have SAN storage, okay, at the right side. It stands for Storage Area Network. If you need to share some big files with all your users globally around the world with a very big file share, you can consider to use the cloud native SAN storage, okay? So we have it in our lineup at the moment. Alright, so we have another option. This is more interesting. Blob storage. Okay, that means in case you need a super big data set to be hosted on the cloud, but in a longer term of time. For example, you need to archive your data for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, even more, okay, or even over 10 years. You can consider this super cost-effective option. Okay, you see we have 3 surface tier: hot, cool, and archive. Each tier has different price and different performance benchmarking. Okay, as you can see, we have hot, cool, archive here. In case you want to adopt the most cost-effective option, you can use archive. Just $1 per terabyte per TB per month. Okay, super cheap, I would say. Okay, so just imagine that is a large pool of this, large pool of storage. Okay, so all storage is something like that. So another thing is when you upload your data to our cloud storage, we also ensure redundancy. That is very important, super important. Okay? So by default, when you upload your data to our cloud, that is LRS. That means locally redundant storage. We already make 3 copies of your data and store in the same region. In case your company's data has issue, we will just restore another set of data to ensure no data loss. Okay. And if your company needs a even higher standard of redundancy, we have a 4th region option, GRS, okay, geographically redundant storage. That means, for example, in Hong Kong, we will leverage Singapore data center and Hong Kong data center to keep 6 copies in across 2 regions. Okay, so ensure that you have 6 copies for a higher level of redundancy. Okay, so it depends on if you need this option or not. But some companies may have to control the data is stored in Hong Kong, and you can choose LRS option. Okay? So again, we try to ensure redundancy, avoid data loss, and something like that. Alright, so we just quickly look into how Azure can help. And most important is I want to show you that we have some proven partner solutions here, okay, in the Azure platform already. Okay. Some examples, I have some screen caps here. Like, as you see, ESRI, they're doing some location-related business. Autodesk, I know they're here today. They want their AutoCAD in our Azure virtual machine with our GPU power already. So just some reference for you to know Azure is a reliable platform for this industry. Okay. Siemens won the ANS application and SolidWorks and even more. These are just examples that we can publish to public. Okay. Alright, so this one is the Autodesk use case. You can click the blue link later to see the details. Okay, I will share the slide. And you can see in the screen, you can just provision their solution inside our Azure portal. We integrate it already, okay? And another more important partnership, I would say this year is RIB, okay? RIB is a construction cloud vendor in the world. I believe you should know them, right? So they won their construction cloud or Azure platform since certain years ago, as I remember. So you can click the link to understand details as well. So Siemens AX, okay, this app can be accessed with Azure Virtual Desktop based on their proposal, their recommendation. So a user can access from anywhere. So let's wrap up, put everything together. So the story is like this, okay? With Azure, your end user just access the cloud workstation at the left-hand side, use the Azure Virtual Desktop, consume the BIM application to do cloud vendor, and after that, maybe if you need, you can do simulation, data analysis with our Azure data service. That is already available, okay? And we also have deep learning and AI in case you need it, okay? We have Azure machine learning to do this thing, okay? So I would say Azure Cloud Platform can almost cover the whole process of engineering, okay? If you want to adopt, okay? So it's time to say goodbye, but I hope you enjoy the session and remember these key points. Okay, Azure, a scalable cloud platform, public cloud, for you to host your BIM app, access from anywhere by end user with a less powerful desktop, PC, or even mobile tablet. Okay? And we secure the connection from your end user side to the data center with our platform. And we have lots of storage solutions for you to choose already. And most important is we have some proven partner solution already in the platform. So if you're interested, you can click these two links to start to get a trial if you're interested. Okay, so I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
We have one question from the audience. How can we run reference on Azure?
Sorry, excuse me.
How can we run reference on Azure?
It depends which model you want to deploy. Actually, if you want to deploy in a self-managed environment, you can just provision a virtual machine in Azure, and user can access from anywhere. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lam, for
Thank you.
the inherent possibility of cloud. Please remain on stage. As a token our appreciation, may I invite Mr. Kelvin, Chairman of HKIBIM, to present the appreciation certificate to our speaker. Chairman, please. Thank you for listening. Cloud definitely is one of the important tools when handling metadata and documentation. So let's invite the representative from our industry to share how they manage the metadata. May we invite Mr. Kelvin, BIM Director of Kwan and Associates Limited, to give us a talk on organizing and presenting metadata with intelligent tools. Mr. Kelvin is a well-experienced US registered architect and CIC BIM certified BIM manager with over 20 years of project experience across the USA, Middle East, and Asia. He has been a BIM user and leader since 2005. Over the years, he has been a BIM leader in corporate architecture firms in USA, Hong Kong, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and Singapore, leading the effort migrating from 2D CAD to 3D BIM practice by implementing BIM process in project, making firm-wide BIM strategy and standard coaching and mentoring internal users. For the past 15 years, he has been focused on the development, implementation, and support of advanced BIM and 3DC technology to continuously improve the delivery process to time. Mr. Tam is a BIM expert well known in this field and loves to share his knowledge with fellow BIM learners by being speaker in many major international BIM conferences and share different professional associations such as a founder of Hong Kong Web User Group HKIBIM and assessor of the CIC BIM certification and accreditation scheme. Let's welcome Mr. Kelvin.
Look like first of all, thank you, Hong Kong IDIM Chairman Kelvin Wong for inviting me to give a short presentation today. So as I'm given like 8 to 10 minutes for this presentation, right? So I will be not like what I have been teaching the class about how to do this and how to do that, but more a showcase today. So I want to manage your expectation. Don't expect that you will learn so many things after my presentation. And actually, this is just a showcase and let you know that what I have been doing and what the software or some kind of visual programming can do. So be more open-minded, be more thinking out of the box. So for those who are very familiar with so-called Dynamo or Visual Scripting, maybe you will find my skills not kind of elementary or kind of like kindergarten, but doesn't matter. This is just a sharing session. So first of all, I would like to let everybody know in a project, it's very important to have a user manual or so-called standard operation procedures, right? So to record the steps, how to do this and how to do that, as a reminder for all the users. My experience, not only visual scripting, or even though some of the strategy or some of the family creation in Revit. I created like 2 weeks ago. After 2 weeks, I almost forget what I have been done. And I always forget why I was thinking that. So almost from now on, I have been doing like a project user manual to remind all the user and to remind myself too. Okay, very important. So, talking about metadata challenge, right? So, this is a showcase of a project which I don't want to reveal the name of the project, but it's a hospital project, a healthcare project. So, which has very stringent requirement and which require a lot of models, a lot of information, a lot of data. So what are the challenges here? Number one, too many rooms, right? I have over 5,000 rooms, right? Especially for institutional project, right? They care about every room, every piece of data in the room, which they would expect all those data when they keep it for future users. They can use the data for facility management, for access management, maintenance, right? So, number two, huge amount of room data including so room S of A area, okay? Required area, provided area, so that the client can check against how big the room you provide and what is my requirement. Okay? Room ID, that will require a specific S/A number from the client, department number, department ID, and the sub-department ID, right? Over 5,000 also. Room requirement, which is occupancy, right? Occupant low or low. Or if the room is open plan or closed office. Room finishes, of course, in architectural project, you may have very fancy finishes, right? One room can have like more than 2 or more than 3 room different wall finishes. Floor finish, ceiling finish, okay. Building surface design criteria data. Oh, this is tough, right? Every room, you need to insert or enter the data of the building surface requirement. Building, like, for example, temperature set, or RH, relative humidity, or airflow requirement of each room. Okay, I will show you how many parameters in this project I have set up. Door data, right? The client want to know that each room, how many doors it has, and what is the door number, and what kind of door it is, acoustic, what kind of door features, all right? Any other specific requirement of the door. Okay? So remember, I have over 5,000 rooms, right? So more than 5,000 doors I have to manage. Room inventory information. This is really a challenge. The client wants every room to have an inventory list, right? So room A will have, and this A, B, C, D, all those rooms, each of it would have an inventory list, right? Which include anything inside the room will be included in the inventory list. So lighting, furniture, anything like the cabinetry need to be all recorded in the room. Number 3, room should have its own set of drawing and inventory list, of course. So we will end up with 10,000, 100,000 of drawing and sheets and schedules. Another challenge, I believe that it will happen in every project in Hong Kong, right? Design always change so frequently. Design always not make decision until the last minute. So there will be a lot of changes. Of course, all these documents, right, including schedule, including drawings, has to be updated very frequently. I'm not that see that the most important are the geometry, the form, but more important for institutional projects are those data and information. So information, upkeeping the information is a very critical in this in all institutional projects. Number 5, various form of presentation data. This is almost killing the project, and I've been struggling in. Okay, I have all this data. Okay, and it is all inside my model. But how can I present it? Especially old school thinking that okay, it has to present in all piece of information has to be shown in the drawing or in a schedule. But there are specific requirement of format or graphics the client want. So there are three difficulties in this. Right, first drawing, I have to make the graphic work well. I have to make the annotation and tagging. And of course, it is not simple annotation or a simple tag to show one piece of information, but those tags will contain over 10 or 20 values or parameters or attributes. Okay, how can I do that? Number 3, schedule, which is mostly the inventory list, right? A whole list containing every item inside a room, including every item's manufacturer, every item's category, every item's code number. Number 6, presentation of information as to specific style. Okay, you may see that a lot of those parameters, say temperature, relative humidity, airflow, those are scientific, right? The unit of those are degree, percentage, those are number. However, in the drawing or in the tagging or in the schedule or in the table, sometimes they want to put NA. Okay, NA is a text. It's not a number. is not a numerical value. So if I'm true to the BIM model, right? Those either you put 0, you cannot put a dash on it, right? But how can I present all those information, right? Kind of getting it out from the numerical value and convert it into a text. But already 5 minutes left. Okay, so let me go through the picture. Okay, so let me show you the end product or the design result. Okay, here is so-called the inventory list, right? You can see 1, 2 sheets, right? At least 2 A4 sheets represents a room with all the wall finish, door mark, door description, right? Those are the so-called item, all the items inside each room. So you can see under cabinetry, under sand feet, under architectural work, under miscellaneous, there is the list of what item and description of the item and the number of items. Right? And on the right hand side, this is all the HVAC data, the so-called the humidity, relative humidity, or the lighting requirement. So also has to present in the table format. Some other items like the future procurement items. Also, each room has to have a set of drawings, right? Like this, regular furniture layout or reflective ceiling plan. Okay. With this, you can see that pizza. That pizza is a tag. It's an annotation tag of each room's building surface design criteria table or number. So also on the left hand side, this is all the building surface items inside each room. Has to be recorded, has to be documented for each room. So next, so another page to show a 3D view, to show the all elevation of each room. Okay. So first, I have to tackle at least 5 different items. Right? Room ID data, you can see all those room ID data are custom made in the reference model. Workflow, very, very important in the BIM project, starting and ending, right? So I have to define the room style or the room with a key schedule in Revit, okay? And then assign it. Because I have over 5,000, and I have a list from the client that all these different rooms have different SOA number, has different room name, has different function, area requirement, blah, 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 right? So this needs to be set up in the model and have to be input. However, this will be repeated, right? Similar room will use the similar room style. So how can I do that, right? To maintain all this room data consistently across different models, because this is a big project, so not a single model can handle all those rooms, right? I have to split the entire project into at least 5, maybe 5 to 10 different models, smaller model by level, right? So in order to make this total room style consistent, I have to make a center resources of the key schedule. So first, maybe using Excel, right? The very simple way to manage your data, right? Better than Revit. And then I use Excel and then to link it to the Revit. And then the Excel also can be saved in the cloud with Google Sheet. And the linkage between Excel and the Revit will be through D-Roots. I don't know if anyone of you have used the D-Root. It's beautiful that everything is on the cloud, right? So I can manage the Excel file in the cloud. And also, because it's the cloud model, not only single user can access it. The whole team can access it and then modify the central data. Okay? And this is a simple dynamo to assign to initiate the process, right, from Excel, and then to incorporate those data into written model. And the written model can link again with the Excel in Google Sheet. So again, using a Google account to manage the Google Sheets and likely link into written model. So this is a very simple Dynamo script to assign different room number with different S of A, because the room number has to be followed a certain way. One minute. Okay, let me wrap it up faster. I have over 60 slides to show you. So room finish data, very important for architects. So here are all those parameters set up in the project. And again, this is a workflow, how to use the room key schedule to populate the room data into the model. Again, there are so many different key schedules which define the key and also which define the description of this code. A map of how the Google Sheet will link to the written model by use of the roots. Wall finishes, right? Another Dynamo to automatically assign wall mark into the wall, right? Because the client wants every drawing to show every wall to have a certain number, so that they can manage. Okay, wall number 1 has wall finish, wall number 2 has wall finish. So I have to at least give an ID for each wall. So here is an example, just a test, a sample. So I can easily use Dynamo to assign each room W1, W2, W3, W4 in the top right direction. Very easy. So up next, with every wall has its identity, I have to map, because the project wants to know on the drawing that W1 map to what kind of finish, right? So another Dynamo script allow me to have assign each wall number to map with what kind of finish it has, right? So using a technique of creating a multi-line parameter, so I can make it checking the whole room to have a whole list of W1 mapping W01 finishes, W2 mapping W02 finish. This is the product, right? I have to create a schedule like this way, and I have to tag all the room with this complicated format, right? W1, W02, W2, W04. The smaller one is the wall ID, and the capital W is the W02 wall finishes. Room BS criteria. This is the whole building surface design requirement, like this way, and also have to present all those data with this so-called pizza, right? And what I've been talking about is the requirement for this, the graphical requirement always want to give you a range. So how to do it? A number is a number. How can I present it in the range? So another workflow is also containing all the key schedule for BS design. So like that. So here is another Dynamo script, which is mostly about how to get the data and then combine them together from number A to number B. But those are text. So this involves converting the number into the text and joining those texts together with a hyphen in between them, so that it will show up on the chart, on the pizza chart, like a range. So turn numerical value into text, and then combine the text together with a dash, with a hyphen. So again, this is HVAC design code and lighting code. Room inventory. Okay, as I mentioned before, the project require you to kind of track all those items inside each room. So each room will have so many different parameters. So another flow chart. So this is another dynamo script. So what actually is happened is I have to assign the item in under different category. And here first assign different category using Dynamo, and then assign each item name into it, and item description into it, and finally count how many those items will has been added into each room. So at the end, it will be presented in this way, right? Like a table, but actually this is not a regular schedule. This is a tag, tagging the room. So,
Kelvin, I think the time is almost up. I'm sorry that I can Kelvin to select the most important function to share with us, and you may invite Kelvin to have a full presentation next time. Thank you,
okay,
Kelvin.
sorry, I'm seeing that it's more a technical lecture, right? Like Kwan.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Alright,
I think the presentation is really comprehensive, showing us how to use the Dynamo to link with Rapid and showing the drawing,
Alright.
which is really useful.
Thank you very much, Helen. Maybe next time. Alright.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be on stage. As a token of our appreciation, may I invite Mr. Kelvin Wong, Chairman of HKIBIM, to present the appreciation certificate to our speakers. Chairman, please.
I'm sure we will have chance to have a lecture from Kelvin. Thanks so much from Kelvin.
Thank you both. Please be seated. 5G is one of the accelerators mobilizing digital transformation and IoT application in construction sites. We are delighted to have Mr. Wing Cheung, Business Development Manager, Business Development and Solution Consulting of China Mobile Hong Kong Company Limited, to give us a speech of 5G smart site solutions for construction industry. Mr. Cheung holds a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering from Hong Kong Polytechnic University, a project management professional certification from Project Management Institute. He was mainly engaged in the mobile infrastructure project and mobile solution in Hong Kong. With over 10 years experience in telecommunication industry, Mr. Cheung is a specialist in radio infrastructure, project management, and construction solution with 5G technology. He is mainly engaged in the promotion and application of his expertise towards a smarter development in Hong Kong. Mr. Cheung, please.
Hi, I'm ready. And today I'm going to share the 5G smart site solution for construction industry. And before the sharing, I would like to take a few seconds to introduce China Mobile Hong Kong. China Mobile Hong Kong is a subsidiary of the China Mobile Communication Group, and China Mobile Communication Group is the largest mobile operator in the world. It has over 570 million mobile users and 251 million 5G plan users. In Hong Kong, China Mobile has 5 million mobile users and also we have 8 million 5G plan users. And we have 99% coverage in Hong Kong. China Mobile Hong Kong is not only selling the cell phone or SIM card, we can deliver the mobile solution to different users. For example, 5G private level, 5G E2X solution, NB-IoT key monitoring sensor, and also 5G CCTV. Spectrum is very important to the mobile solution. We can see that the spectrum we have, the full area is the spectrum owned by CMHK. CMHK is the operator with the most
5G spectrum in Hong Kong. Okay, let's move on the 5G smart site solution. Our 5G smart site solution contains our various all solutions, such as smart helmet, AR CCTV, IoT sensor. And this is a mobile solution. That means this solution can apply to different scenarios, like construction site, tunnel, or building management scenario. Here is the concept of the smart site solution. You can see that there are AR CCTV, smart helmet, or IoT device on the construction site. And then this device will send up the data, like video or data to the data center or cloud platform through the 5G or NB-IoT level. On the other hand, the site supervisor or the engineer can use their cell phone or desktop device to reach the data center or cloud platform through the 5G mobile network. This is our IoT solution. Our IoT solution contains two parts: IoT device, like the sensor, and also the centralized platform, like one net platform. As you can see that the smart sensor can be set in the different place and notice the inspector and webcam when there is alarm occur. And also, if the solution is not only the sensor, we have the one net platform. And this one net platform is located in our CMHK data center, which means it is stable and secure. AI CCTV is an enhanced CCTV solution which contains the AI function, like people counting, facial recognition, and also danger zone alert. When we put this AI CCTV to the construction site, we can do different things, like data management. We can set up a rule set that if the worker is not wearing the helmet or his body temperature is not normal, we can reject it from the page flow. And also, we can set up an intrusion detection function, and then set up a danger zone in the construction site. When a worker has access to the danger zone, we can trigger an alert. On the other hand, I can set up a danger zone to protect our high-value equipment. When somebody wants to breach the high-value equipment, the alarm will trigger. Smart helmet is another solution for the worker. Like there is a SOS feature and body monitoring feature and GPS positioning feature. Let the site supervisor know their worker status and better for the allocate their workforce. And also there is a cloud platform for the attendance or generate some report. Here is our last solution. There is a solution called UWB ultra-wideband solution. What is it for? Ultra-wideband is a high precision position solution. We can use this UWB SSM on a high-value equipment so that we can know the equipment's location. And also we can put this SS tag on the pen and to prevent the chain cross, to prevent the incident occur. Okay, here is our demo presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for the peaceful presentation. Please remain on stage. As a token of our appreciation, may I invite Mr. Kelvin, Chairman of HKIBIM, to present the appreciation certificate to our speaker. Chairman, please. Thank you both. Please be seated. Before the next presentation, just a friendly reminder, the participants are welcome to raise your question by clicking the Q&A button in Zoom. Ahead of the question, please tag the related speaker by mentioning it, and the name chosen question will be read aloud and speaker will respond in short answer in the Q&A session. Before wasting time, allow me to welcome Ms. Poon, Technical Manager of AEC Industry in Autodesk, serving the Hong Kong and Macau region to share some insight of capability of software tools for BIM automation. Kelvin has a decade of experience in the BIM industry and possesses a wealth of knowledge working with key contractor, architecture firm, and engineering consultant. To promote and support the implementation of BIM, she co-founded the Hong Kong Cyber User Group, HKIBIM, along with a group of enthusiastic BIM users. The HKIBIM offers different workshops and facilitate experience sharing sessions for a wide range of users. To further on her effort, Kelvin established the Cantonese YouTube channel HKIBIM 香港建築信息模型 to share her insights and best practice for using BIM and common data environment CDE. Let's welcome Ms. Poon, please.
Hello. Okay. So, good afternoon, and thanks for having me for this great event. And today, I'm going to give you some hints or some direction and a lot of information for BIM automation. So, in our day-to-day BIM project operation, you may use Revit as a BIM project editor or modeling tools, and also the CDE, Common Data Environment. So we may do something to optimize or enhance our project performance. According to my knowledge and experience with Hong Kong market and many interactions with Hong Kong customers, I think the high demand will be located in Revit and CDE. For example, in Revit, we may try to develop some Dynamo plus generative design script, and also to enhance or ensure the Revit quality. We may try to use Revit Model Checker, which is a tools or functions in BIM interoperability tools. And lastly is the Revit plugin. This is not a new thing, but we can have some introduction of it. Then the last one is the CDE. Previously, this is the Kwok, and we have renamed it as APS, Autodesk Platform Services. So it can link with our CDE in 360 and ACC. And in this section, I will give you some brief idea or concept of all these directions. So the Dynamo plus generative design. As Kelvin just mentioned, Dynamo, it has a lot of looks. We call it the visual programming tools. So if you are a beginner in Revit, you want to speed up the process of some repetitive tasks, you may consider to use Dynamo. I'm not sure, have you heard about AI? There's a new tool developed in 2022 named OpenAI. OpenAI ChatGPT. It can help you to speed up the learning progress and help you to do some research. So I highly recommend you take a look of it. Also,
The general application of Dynamo are listed on the screen. I think the automate repetitive tasks in Revit is most important, and also simplify some very complicated workflow in Revit. Other functions are listed. For example, if I have a project, I want to do some interior design and put different color of the walls with different purposes. So, as a designer, I don't want to put it one by one to fill in the color. I may put it on some schedule, the room schedule. And I can control it or assign the materials by Dynamo with only 4 nodes, or Dynamo nodes. This is very powerful and very time-saving. Once you have developed this Dynamo script, you can reuse it and share it with your team. So, maybe after a period of time, you accumulate your Dynamo script and you can form a library in Revit, which is the Dynamo pane. You just type and then run the program, and then all the outcome will be displayed to you. And another advanced approach to use Dynamo is the generated design for Revit, which is a new function in Revit since the last 2 years. So what is generated design? Generated design is not fully automated. It is based on your Dynamo script. Once you have designed your Dynamo script at the node, I have showed it in the last page, it will show you all the possible options. And as a designer or engineer, you have to optimize or select the range of the options and then further develop in details. It could be used in the conceptual stage to decide the building envelope, or even in the interior design to find out which is the best view for your furniture location. So more information can be found on our official website, dynamobim.org. So this is the summary of the workflow. You have the basic function of BIM as Revit, and then more upgrade is to use Dynamo script to optimize your workflow. And then the highest level of automation is the generated design for Revit. So very clear. And then the next topic is the Revit model checker. I can see the trend from last year, or last 2 years. Many BIM users or clients has estimated how to audit their BIM projects or the quality maintenance of their BIM projects. One of the tools is our Autodesk BIM interoperability tools, which is a free tools and have a lot of functions. But I will highlight this, the model checker and the model checker configurator for Revit. Of course, Autodesk has already developed some template or checklist for you to check the model. However, I think to localize it for Hong Kong market, we should do something. We should do something on some custom-made checklist for Hong Kong market, and we can use. This is the result of the model checker. It can be combined with the Power BI, and it has some built-in checks. I have highlighted some frequent because we use the items, so you can use it to customize your check template. We have the wizard and advanced check functions for you to tailor-make for your company or for your projects. I can say that it is easy to understand or use these tools, but it takes time for us to develop. So it worth our efforts to take a look of it. And the third one is the Revit plugins. If some of you have the C# or programming language, you may consider to do some plugin in Revit and then put it on App Store for our Hong Kong users. If you want to know more, I would also suggest you to take our tutorials online. This is a self-paced and very comprehensive tutorials. And also, I found some YouTube channels for you to study. I think this is quite good, very detailed. To develop some programming tools or automation tools, I think you may have some language in programming. For example, you have to know C#, Python. Python is a tool for Dynamo, custom-made note. And then you need to have a good programming editor, such as the Microsoft Visual Studio. Yeah. This is the most common editor in the world. And lastly is the Forge. Now we name it as the APS, Autodesk Platform Services, which can be linked with our CD BIM 360 or ACC. So when you go to our website, we have a lot of resources, such as the documentations, materials, and even some code samples. So you don't need to start everything from scratch. You can just take a look of it and copy the source code, and then further develop your own Forge apps. To develop these Forge apps, you need to have some language, JavaScript language knowledge, and then Node.js, GitHub knowledge, and maybe more, yeah. And then use Visual Studio Code to develop and combine everything together. Okay, lastly, and we have many tutorials and resources from our Autodesk Hong Kong channel. Please feel free to subscribe and watch it. And for my own channel, I also share some tips and tricks for our Hong Kong users. This channel is in Cantonese. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Poon, for your incredible sharing. Please remain on stage. As a token of appreciation, may I invite Mr. Kelvin Wong, Chairman of HKIBIM, to present the appreciation certificates to our speakers. Chairman, please. Thank you both. Please be seated. Last but not least, may I invite our last speaker, Mr. Kwok, Account Director of LinkedIn, to give us a closing speech and share some ideas on the changing landscape of Hong Kong. Mr. Kwok is currently a Senior Enterprise Account Director at LinkedIn Hong Kong, focusing on LinkedIn talent solutions. He has obtained engineering degree and professional certification in Canada and worked in the HVAC industry prior to a transition to a technology sector. Prior to LinkedIn, he was responsible for managing global cloud-based solutions, including BIM service provider. Let's welcome Mr. Kwok, please.
Hey, thanks everyone for joining us at LinkedIn. Great to have everyone here. A lot of questions that came up before we even started this event was, why is the event at LinkedIn? Why LinkedIn, right? This is HKIBIM. And what I'm hearing is there's a lot of productivity going on, a lot of improvement on efficiencies. Now, does everybody have a LinkedIn account? Yeah? Some folks, okay. I added a few today. Does anybody know what LinkedIn does? Maybe I'll just pick on someone. What does LinkedIn do?
You're doing networking for business.
You're doing a networking for business. Now, do we know LinkedIn's mission? Why don't we start with that? Anyone know our mission? This one's a tough one, so I'm gonna give it away. So LinkedIn's a platform that connects professionals to make them more productive and successful. Okay, so I think it's really in line with today's talk about making things more productive and efficient. Now, I'm gonna go through a bit of my background, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about Hong Kong's talent flow. Another survey I wanna do quickly is, how many of you has done a farewell to a friend or a colleague over the last 3 years? No farewells, some farewell, some. So we're gonna go through some of the talent outflow from the city and why it's important to start developing good skills. So as it was introduced, I work at LinkedIn, and I actually have my background in engineering. I was in the HVAC industry for about 5 years before transitioning into a business degree doing product development in Microsoft. During my time there, I worked with M2 RIB, a global partner for
BIM solutions, and then transitioning into LinkedIn doing talent solutions, so trainings, recruitment, so on and so forth. And I find that the mission is actually quite close to heart and what I would like to do with my career. So in that short history, I've actually transitioned a couple of things already. So let's go back a little bit. I've transitioned between Canada and Hong Kong. I've transitioned between industries. This thought will become important later on in the presentation. Just keep that in mind. So in the global scale of LinkedIn, we have about 850 million users. Okay? In Hong Kong alone, which is what we're focusing on for today's presentation, is we have 2 million active members in Hong Kong on LinkedIn. Now, what that means is we're collecting a lot of data. So aside from networking and presenting your company, we have a lot of data to work with. So when you're posting something or when you're looking for a job, we know what jobs are in demand and we know what skills are out there. So every time we update our experience or education, it contributes to this greater network of data. Okay? So in this 2 million members, plus job postings, plus learning behaviors, plus browsing behaviors, we've developed a couple of very key insights. Okay? So we're going to start with the current state. Right now within Hong Kong, most of them are in finance sector, which is not a surprise. Okay, Hong Kong being a financial center for Asia, most of our members in Hong Kong are in the financial sector. Okay? Way ahead of our peers. So gray is Asia and blue is Hong Kong. In terms of percentage, we're way ahead. Okay, lots and lots of people in finance. Now, slightly discouraging, we gotta look down onto the slide. Construction is actually quite low on the list in terms of penetration on LinkedIn. And when we talk to our peers, I mean, today's audience is great. Most of us are on LinkedIn, but many are still not on LinkedIn. And there's no reason not to be. You don't need to be looking for a job to be on LinkedIn. You're connecting with people. You're understanding industry news. And you're understanding what is going on in the marketplace. So this right here should increase significantly in terms of how much is going on in Hong Kong. So this is one of the rare sectors that is below Asia average. So something worth looking at. Okay, so this is the current state. And this is why we're working so hard to get people onto LinkedIn. It's not just for LinkedIn itself, but it's helping the industry. So we hope that we can encourage people to go on. Some of the stoppers is that, oh, what if my boss thinks I'm looking for a job? And that mentality needs to change. It's not just about looking for jobs, it's about networking. You're not just building a personal brand, you're building a brand for your company, okay? So that's the current state. And then we deep dive a little bit. Okay, well, construction industry, there's accounting, there's finance, what's going on inside? Why don't we deep dive into engineering specifically? Once again, gray is Asia, blue is Hong Kong. Hong Kong, once again, is trailing behind in terms of the engineering percentage. And most of them are still in business development. So a lot of them are doing business. They're looking for opportunities. They're in sales, perhaps, project management. But it goes beyond that. It's not just for us. It's not just a sales tool. It's not just a job hunting tool. It's a networking tool. We're trying to make everyone more productive. So this is something we need to raise awareness on. Not just making sales, but as engineers, how do we get people on top of the market? If there's lots of groups out there, we can go through that afterwards. So if we shift a little bit to common occupations, software engineers is way below on percentage, and the government's making a push on different investments into fintech, into proptech, so on and so forth, but our engineers is still low on the list. We might be a bit more shy, but we need to get onto the network. Okay, so some good news. Despite all the farewells we're doing, I thought there would be no inflows into Hong Kong. So blue is people coming in, red is people leaving Hong Kong, and green is the net flow. And we're starting this list from January 2019 onto here, and below is a time frame. And underneath it, we have different waves of COVID and different immigration policies in different places that are shown. So we can see that generally we're still going quite downhill. We're still experiencing outflow. And every time we see a different immigration policy change, we see a dip even further. But the good news is there are people coming in. So it's kind of bad, but not too bad. I'm a little sad that people are leaving, but it's not that dire. They're still incoming. But here's the bad news. The real estate, construction, and professional services industry are leaving the quickest in terms of the percentage. So when we looked at the red, which is the outflow, versus the blue, which is the inflow, in our sector, for today's purpose, we're actually experiencing quite a bit of outflow. Okay, so despite the fact that we have people coming in, they might not be contribution to our profession right now. So when we look at, and I just grouped them together with our breakdown, we don't have BIM specific, so I've highlighted construction, real estate, and professional services. And these are the professions that we're losing the quickest, okay? Now, when a talent leaves a place, it brings along a lot of other things, okay? Their experience, their family, and their skill sets. So when we're looking for more BIM talents in Hong Kong, well, how do we do that? Right? When they're leaving, they're bringing all these skill sets with them. And we'll go through some better news. This is not the best news because people are leaving. But what do? I'm going to skip this one. The good news is people are switching industries. And I bring you back to my original slide. I said I did switch industries from HVAC to tech to now LinkedIn. What does that mean? I am switching industries. Over the course of COVID, people are more open to changing industries. Real estate does not need to recruit from real estate. Tech does not need to recruit in tech. We should keep our eyes open about people that has the skill sets to move over. Here's another concept that LinkedIn has been preaching the last couple of years, it's skills-based hiring. And it's not just LinkedIn, we're just trying to enhance that thought. We're recruiting not for what they've done, but what they can do. What can we train them to do? Just because they've done it in the past doesn't mean we can only look in this sector. If someone is in tech, they can transfer from prop tech to fintech to whatever tech it may be. So as BIM practitioners, if we're like, hey, we don't got talent, where do you need to look? And this is where Microsoft and other tech firms might be coming and saying, you know, we got the talent to build these solutions for you. So a couple of encouraging facts is, remember in the last slide when there's new immigration policies coming, there's a huge outflow. Well, with that huge outflow actually came in with a spike in a change in industry for professionals. So it's not all bad news. There's some good news to it. During these downturns, people are looking for opportunities. Things open up and people do change their industries and the whole career trajectory by changing these roles. So keep an eye open when you're looking for these talents to fill some of the roles and to fulfill some of the projects. Don't just look within your industry. Look around, look outside, okay? And here is the mode of work. And this is what I was talking about. We're like, well, things are changing. What do? People are much more open to remote work now, not just locally, but overseas. Can I apply to overseas role? Can Ron apply to a product role from Singapore? What is stopping me from doing it? Even when you're in Hong Kong, you may not be working in the office anyways. So LinkedIn, we're working basically on a full remote option. We don't need to come to the office. We choose to come to the office, but many of us don't need to be in the office. Is that something we can do in the BIM industry, or is there certain rules that we can do this? So the mode of work has changed. We went from in-office to fully not in office, back to kind of in-office hybrid. What's the best way? We're just saying many of them are very, very open to remote jobs. And there's a lot of dialing in today that are not in Hong Kong that may be considering, well, what if I work on Hong Kong projects? What if I can contribute to the Hong Kong BIM community without being physically here? So these are all things that is worth thinking about. Now, this slide is super important. I'm going to wrap it up after this. This is the skills trend that we're seeing. Remember, we're saying this is we're a data platform. We understand what skill sets we have, what openings we got, okay? So we track on the highest or fastest growing skill sets within the construction industry. This is specific to Asia, to APAC. We see that BIM coordination is on the list, but the on-demand list, that is not actually bridging the gap. Okay? We're seeing, AutoCAD, construction management, Revit, operation management, so on and so forth, being the highest in demand, and yet people are developing their skills in BIM coordination, A++, and so on and so forth. Now, how do we bridge this gap between demand and supply? Okay? We need to actively work with the education sector on, this is what the market is demanding. And I think they are training this. And we did showcase from Autodesk that they are providing a lot of trainings in the segment. But once you're in the industry, it really relies on the company to provide these trainings to their staff. And I've talked to a couple of my clients within the construction industry, and they're saying, well, we expect our staff to continuously upgrade or upgrade on the job or train on the job, but sometimes we've got to give them the tools to do so. They may not understand what is needed in the marketplace. So how do we stay competitive? Not just within Hong Kong, but in Asia. And these are the gaps that we're seeing right now. The fastest growing skill set is not actually serving the highest demand jobs in the marketplace. So in a very, very quick summary, the migration patterns are changing. People are leaving and coming to Hong Kong. They may or may not be people that we need. How do we make sure that we're attracting talent to come back in or reach them from overseas? How are we going to work with them? Despite the fact that, it's a reality. People are leaving. They're not coming back yet. How do we change that? Or how do we work with it? Second is the change in market demands. We just talked about this on the last slide. The skill set that's fastest growing is not the most in demand. How do we bridge that gap? And I had a talk with HKIBIM on maybe it's not the hard skills that we need. Maybe it's the soft skills. Maybe it's a presentation. Maybe it's a virtual. Maybe it's cloud. We don't know. But these are the skill sets that we should be looking into aside from the hard skills. And lastly is mode of work. We talked about the openness to remote working. Can we work hybrid? Can we work with other regions from remote? So these are the things that we've actually started out through LinkedIn data that we hope to share with everyone here. And we hope that we can start connecting. You know what? LinkedIn is not just for job hunting. It's for us to understand how the market is moving, understand how we can do better as a whole, and how to be more productive. And as, I guess, a collaboration, LinkedIn will be working with HKIBIM to see how we can actually distribute some of these LinkedIn learning licenses. And they'll go through this in the next session to see how we can actually introduce some of these BIM concepts, communication, so on and so forth, through LinkedIn Learning. Okay? It's not a must, but it's something that we hope to distribute it out to everybody who's participating. So thank you for your time here. We'll soon be sharing some snacks after HKIBIM share the last closing remarks, but we do hope that you can stick around and enjoy our office for a little longer. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kwok, for insightful sharing. This is my orientation. As token of our appreciation, we are inviting Mr. Kelvin, Chairman of HKIBIM, to present the appreciation certificate to our Chairman, please. Thank you, Mr. Kwok and his team for the big support to the event. Not only given us a nice venue for holding this information day, but also a free trial to our event participants to enable skill building by self-learning through the LinkedIn learning platform. We are now invite our board member, Kwok, to share his views and details to us topic.
Thank you. Welcome everyone present here. This is Kwok, a board member of HKIBIM, also a committee member of this event. I'm proud to introduce to you the LinkedIn Learning, a platform for all applicants to strengthen your BIM software skill, programming skill, communication skills, and presentation skills before the project submission. So, inside the LinkedIn Learning platform, there are a lot of BIM courses inside. As mentioned by the Kelvin about those Dynamo scripts and about the API and the generative design from Poon, and also from the guest today presenting those knowledge, you can also find the LinkedIn Learning. Now it's free and available for all applicants to extend their knowledge on BIM. We know that time is always a constraint for professionals. Therefore, we have consolidated some of the recommended courses inside the function called the LinkedIn Learning Hub for the applicants to access the relevant courses during your project preparation journey. LinkedIn Learning will belong to you for around 4 weeks' time. The learning path in your it will provide a course playlist for learners to process through a mastering the different subjects, programs. It allows you to enroll in multiple courses simultaneously, saving your valuable time. It is a straightforward and high powerful feature for you in developing a project. On behalf of HKIBIM board member and the BIM Automation Arena Organization Committee, we encourage applicants to strengthen their knowledge and continuously explore new skills. And despite the learning path recommended for you for the applicants are not adding an extra score to the final marking of the project, but it will finally benefit you in your self-development. Yeah. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kelvin. Now we have come to the Q&A session. May I invite Mr. Simon, Head of Events and Marketing of HKIBIM, to chair the Q&A session. Simon, please. So if you have any thoughts about the construction technology development or the competition details, please feel free to ask the question via the Q&A box in Zoom or raise your hand. Our helper will pass the mic to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, number of questions is asking about more about the event and how they can register. Okay, so we have the first question asking about the KPI form. So will the KPI form be available in our website? The answer is of course, yeah, it's already in the website. So maybe I do a walkthrough to our website to you. So this is our Hong Kong IBIM website, hkibim.org. So please remember this. So when you go to the homepage, you have a very nice, very eye-catching banner here that goes to this BIM Automation Arena website. So these are all the information that I have just presented. And on the top, you will see some text here. So first of all, this is the application form that I mentioned. So all the interested parties, so you can register here first. So just fill in your information and then you are registered. Okay, so when you register, you will get a free link to learning account. So don't miss it. So so after you register, when your submission is ready, so you can go to the submission kit here. Yeah. Okay, so it's basically a document telling you what to do, what you need to submit. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. So we will try to show you our website. So everything is on the website here. So it's Friday evening, so we relax. And the computer is also relaxing too. So it won't affect the Zoom audience, but just the one on the side on the spot. I will explain to you later. Okay. Anyway, so this is the submission kit. So it tells you what you need to submit in here. Okay, the submission material is here. Okay, the deadline is here again. Oh, okay, it's back. Okay, so you need to submit 4 materials here. So first one is the executive summary, maximum of 5 pages in A3 size. Okay. Second is the video clip. Okay, without any, we don't have any limitation on. And the third one is the KPI form that the user, the audience is asking. So we can have the KPI form here. So you fill in the KPI form and then to submit together with your submission. Okay. And finally is of course the application fee. Okay. So that answered the first question. The second question is also regarding the submission phase. So what is expected in the submission? Okay. So I suppose this is asking about the content in the executive summary and also in the video clip. So I would expect it is first of all the executive summary is some wording to describe
your application or your program. So what it is for and how does it help and how it helps to improve your BIM process. Okay. And second, in about the video clip, so we are expecting a live demo on the video clip, and of course it will be better if you have some you help you with your words with your sound to describe what it is and how you click on the click on which button and or what will happen and how does it help and then maybe also you can I would advise you to maybe what problem, what pain point that your automation tools is focusing, what kind of problem is solving. Okay, so I think that's the document. Okay, all right. So we have the number 3 question. So if we have, can we integrate all 3 categories together in one solution? Does it qualify? So I will, I understand your question is, if you have one solution that consists of all these 3 categories, right? Maybe I will imagine, maybe you develop a software application, which is a platform, but then together it will also have an API with that will have an API interface in your Revit or and then also we also have an animal script. So everything all together as one solution. So my understanding will be you will go to the largest category, which is the number 3 software application. If you have application, so this is basically from smaller program, middle program to the large program. So I will expect if in this is the case that I described that it should be number 3, which is the software application. Okay. So number 4 question is, sorry to interrupt, are we allowed to use other customized nodes in our visual programming script? For example, some branch room data using lunchbox nodes. Well, so that means that you will have some public available nodes, and then together with some your nodes to make one solution. So that will be just case by case. Okay. So just do your submission first, and then we will just about what is the percentage of your original program script and how many of them are using the lunch bundles, what the ratio of them. So of course we encourage 100% of it is originally created by yours, but if some of them, a little bit of them are from public available nodes, we may also consider. So one more question, where can we find example 1 and example 2? Basically, we don't have example 1 and example this example. So I think in this info day, in today's info day, our speaker and also myself and give you some examples. But this is just an example for illustration only. So I think you all understand. You will all understand a lot of visual programming, but actually in this submission kit, they have some examples. If we go to here,
go to the application form. In the application form here, okay. So these are the examples here, okay? But actually, it is to me it's just a YouTube video about this programming dynamo. So you can take it as one example here. Yeah. But just to tell you what kind of format, what kind of solution we are expecting. Okay. So last question is Autodesk speaker, Ms. Carol. Is she one of the examples? what? Is she one of the examples? So I understand that maybe is she coding some in your YouTube channel? You have got a lot of examples, right? So I think these examples, if you have some application that is doing something similar function or doing some something, yeah, that should be your example, right? Okay, I think that is. Is there any more questions? So if there's no more questions, so of course you can feel free to leave your message to if you have any inquiry about this BIM Automation Arena. So of course you can always contact us. So we have a email address here. Okay. So I think that's the end of my Q&A session.
Thank you, Simon. So about the question related to Carol's presentation, I think the audience are asking whether the example that you are explaining is the thing that we want to see in the competition and also arena. Like the dynamo linking to the graphic, and then to help us to develop the rooms, facade with different colors, and yeah.
Yes, of course. This type of applications or public or tools, they are all we expected. Yeah. As I said, the objective is any tools that help the AEC industry and helps in the BIM process are those solutions that we are looking for.
Thank you, Simon. Ladies and gentlemen, Information Day has come to an end. Once again, on behalf of HKIBIM, we would like to say thank you for your active participation today. If you are interested in participating in the upcoming BIM Automation Arena competition, please check out the application detail file our event website shown on screen now. And remember to submit all the application material before 17th of February 2023, Friday by 5 p.m. on time. That showcase your talent and release your potential in the competition.
And you are willing to support the events by being our sponsors and also supporting organization. You are welcome to contact our event secretary for more details. Last but not least, members, please remember to scan the QR code shown on the left-hand side of the screen for attendance and also issue the CPD cert. Thank you again for joining us today. Have a great evening and weekend. See you all again at Cyberport on the 31st of March 2023. Bye-bye.